Hey, it's White Boy Chris. If the Pat Downs ever made you laugh, then join our Patreon and support us. Get bonus content, a t-shirt, or an autographed copy of Rabbit, Miss Pat's autobiography. Visit MissPatComedy.com for the link to the Patreon, and while you're there, join our Facebook group.
Another episode of the Pat Down, y'all. Hey, this shit is funny. We talking about some serious shit today. You know, sometimes we like to get serious on this fucking podcast. So I'm hanging out with my two husbands. Y'all give it up for Deon and Chris.
What's up, y'all?
Where's my Alice?
Stay tuned after the song. We talking about some real shit, y'all.
You better get up, get out, and tune into this podcast. This Pat spit the truth, spit the real fact. Nothing but the ugly, classy at the same time. Pat got the flavor, these are not your same lines. That's the politics, she been on the real grind. It could be pretty but ugly at the same time. Just tune in, put your lock on the spin down. Ain't no need for the wait and turn it up now. What you talking about? Is it real though? And cut the game, you get no play like Nintendo. You wasted time, turn it up, nothing but the ugly. Straight off the top, everything she say, you know it's funny. Full-fledged, this a taste of the future. Listen on your iPhone, on your desktop computer. Share it, tweet it, ain't no way to beat it. Nothing but the ugly, turn it up and gon' repeat it.
Oh, we here, we live. We doing live video, goddammit. You hear me? I got on the same outfit from the last one. Because we do these bitches back to back, so I get the fuck up out of here, okay? I got shit to do. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing really well.
Yeah, you see, I'm telling we had a bath earlier, but it's the same clothes from the last. We didn't even think about that shit. Next time we got to change shirts. They play like it's different.
This is no.
You don't have to change clothes for the fucking TV internet audience. They know how this shit works.
Video makes everything so much more complicated.
Oh, yes, it does. Because usually we can hide and do 5 and act like it's different days. But as you can see, we still at fucking go banana.
I tell you what, if they don't appreciate the fact that we're wearing the same clothes after all the begging and pleading for us to get video, fuck y'all, okay? We're not gonna change clothes.
And apparently, Deon, I'm editing video now.
Yeah, apparently.
I just found that out.
Have fun with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to find somebody. He always fucking complains.
Well, he got a lot of work to do.
Well, I've helped you get laid and everything since this part.
When?
Well, they coming at you. You just don't want it. I mean, you have never had this kind of attention before I started this podcast with you. You had like bitches were just flopping to you. Nobody liked you but that cat.
Hey, Mittens is delightful, okay?
Yeah, but now a real Minton with a wig like you, black bitches. So you should be thankful. You get all the pussy threats in the world.
Pussy threats.
Yeah, that's what people want.
That sounds
pussy
like
threat.
That sounds like a drama on Animal Planet.
They be threatening to give you some vagina. So that's a good thing, Chris. Okay? You have
That should be your fucking black handle, pussy threat. That's his moniker, Chris the Pussy Threat.
I'm gonna harm it. I'm gonna harm it good.
Harm it? The fuck is harm it? It sounds like
That's
a
his
bee.
way of saying he's gonna beat it up. He's going to harm the vagina. Hurt.
Harm?
See, the best thing about videos, you can go look at how Miss Pat looked at me.
I thought he said harm it like it's a
Hermit. No.
Hermit
hermit.
crab.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Not Garyana.
Hermit? Jesus Christ, Chris. You're too white. Now, I'm gonna harm your vagina. Yes, I'm a hermit. I'm a hermit to the white meat. I'm gonna harm that thing till it swells up. I'm gonna harm it. I'm gonna harm it to the police station. I'm gonna harm it till you call on Jesus.
Stop saying it.
I'm gonna harm it from the back. Ladies, what would you do if some dude said, I'm gonna harm your thing up tonight? You don't get your corny ass out here before I stab you in your forehead and put a steering wheel in the top of your head and drive you the fuck up out of here.
All right, now that it's said back to me, I see what you're saying, Miss Pat.
Harm it. Jesus.
Have you ever had your vagina harmed?
Yes.
Besides the fucking
in the cemetery, yeah.
No, I've had crabs and gonorrhea, so it's been harmed. But we don't call it harm. We can call it beat up. Jesus Christ. I'm going to harm your vagina.
Speaking of harm, there was a lot of outrage and backlash over the Amber Guyger trial.
Deon been dying to talk about this.
Well, I think it's interesting how quickly she was forgiven by the family Chris, I know you have a strong take on this, and I would love to hear your perspective on it, Miss Pat, because you're a very forgiving person.
I am a forgiving person. To be honest with you, I don't think I could have forgiven her that day. I mean, the man is freshly in the ground. And if it was my son, I mean, it would take time. I understand. One thing I know about when people bring harm to you or hurt you, one thing I know is that when you hate something or somebody, that hate will control you. So for them to forgive Amber like that, it was mainly so they can move on. Sometimes you have to forgive people so you can move on, whether they want the forgiveness or not. I don't think I could have hugged her had she killed my brother. But, you know, people deal with shit in different situations. Different situations. One thing I don't like when people are dead and people want to speak for the dead, I hate when people get up there and say, well, he will want me to forgive you. No, bitch, he want to be alive.
Right.
Where y'all get that shit from? Stop speaking for the dead. I already wrote a whole letter to my family. Don't be saying what you think I would say, because I'm dead, so you don't know what the fuck I was going to say, because the bitch shot me while I was eating ice cream. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
He would say this. You don't know. He wasn't in that situation to make a fucking statement. So how do you know? It ain't like he knew the bitch was gonna shoot him and he wrote you a motherfucking letter what to say on the stand. That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
You know, just because I'm a forgiving person, well, I might be mad at this bitch for killing me. Cause hey, the new Joker just came out. I might have wanted to see that shit.
Been a Batman fan my whole life.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, that's what I don't like. You know, he would want, you don't know what the fuck he wanted because he's not here to tell you what he wanted. Personally, me, you can't really say what you would do if you're not in that situation. You really can't. And we don't know all the fucking evidence. What we see is something different. But, you know, what they know with all the evidence, it could have been a mistake. It literally could have been a mistake.
You don't get to make that mistake and then tell me you sorry and just me be like, I forgive you. Nah, fuck that.
I don't think as a parent, I would have forgiven her on the witness stand like the brother did. I couldn't have, because it's too fresh. It wasn't even, is it a year yet?
No.
I think
Yes,
it's around.
it's been a year.
Yeah,
It's been a year.
Been a
So,
year.
you know, I'm still missing my child, and every day this shit is still coming up. This lady will miss her child for the rest of her fucking life. So, I mean, if I had forgiven her, I would have went to God with it. She wouldn't have known I'd forgiven her.
There
honestly.
have been cases of people having their children killed and then becoming father figures and mothers and fathers to their murderer, you know. But usually those are cases of, you know, the murderer being a young, just dumb, you know, not knowing life. This lady was a full-grown woman.
Police officer.
She was thinking about getting fucked that night. Like, all her excuses don't make sense to me.
If you're not familiar, Amber Guyger was in this apartment complex, and this apparently happened like 93 times, and that they could identify in the neighbors. And she went to the wrong door, opened the door. Botham Jean was sitting on the couch with his AirPods in, eating ice cream, watching TV.
His, though? She didn't open it.
He must have not had it locked. I mean, I do that all the time. I'll accidentally forget to lock my door. She came in, thought somebody was in her apartment, and shot him dead. And then there was a bunch of weird handling of her chain of custody. And police officers all the time, this happens all the time, they get off. And she was convicted of premeditated murder, essentially, which I guess in Texas is not uncommon. It can be, I think she got 10 years in prison for it.
What do you think a gun is for? A premeditated fucking murder. You plan on shooting somebody when you buy a gun. That's
So,
what the fuck
not
you buy it for.
always.
She had killed somebody.
Sometimes you just plan on having it. I mean, you don't.
You know what it does.
Well, she was coming off of like
well, nigga, I know what a banana does. It make me fat, but that's not premeditated fat.
Well, she's a police officer coming home from work. I think she'd been on for 13 hours that day.
It doesn't matter. You know your door.
And
even if you know your door, who the fuck walk right in and shoot? You know what I'm saying? Especially with all the killing of white people with white cops with black cops. I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house and give him an opportunity to say, this is my fucking house. And I'm looking around, I don't have a motherfucking Malcolm X poster in my house. You know, something should have triggered her mind to say you in the fucking wrong house. I don't know how you walk in the wrong house, but shit can happen. If you texting and you not looking and you going up a flight of steps, maybe she lived on the 3rd and he lived on the 4th and she just kept going because the text was so good and she ended up in the house. Still, I just wish, you know, a life is lost. And the whole thing I wanted to say, I wouldn't have forgave her. I wouldn't have forgave her. Not that day. If I did, it would have been in the privacy of my home with my God.
So as she was convicted and sentenced, her Botham Jean's, the man who was killed, 18-year-old brother, gave this really moving speech about how he forgave her. They ended up hugging. Then the judge came down and hugged her. When I heard her apologize basically before sentencing to the family, she sounded very serious, contrite, sorry for what had happened. I think her sentence was completely appropriate.
Yeah, her sentence was appropriate. 10 years?
At least 10 years.
No, at least more. 50 years. She should have got 50 years for killing a person. I don't give a fuck if she went in the house and shot a dog. She should have got 50 years because you are a police officer. You are trained. Well, today they just trained to shoot a motherfucker of color anyway. But I don't feel, because you know why? I've seen black people get more time for lace shit.
Absolutely.
So why do you think 10 years was appropriate? Because this bitch was texting and making that was not a mistake. You don't make fucking mistakes like that.
I have a friend.
She should have got life in jail.
Yeah, so
because there's too many black people in jail behind bullshit. Like the lady who fucking voted. And then she didn't know she couldn't vote. And what she got, 5 years? Yeah. Because that's some bullshit. You get 5 years for voting. Happened in Texas. You get 5 years for voting, but you white, you get 20 years? Come on, Chris. No, that bitch should have got life.
It's easy to say that, but when you're deciding as a prosecutor what to charge somebody with, if you overcharge, then the jury may go no, and then let them off, which happens all the time because prosecutors want to let the cop off. And so they overcharge.
She was never going to get off, first of all, because it was all-black jury. It was an all-black jury, nigga. Wasn't nobody going to let that bitch walk to the ice cream store. That was one white person wasn't going to get no meal that day.
You get one person on that jury who doesn't agree.
All of them look like me. You think I let you go for shooting somebody black, Chris?
All black people think alike is what you're arguing.
When it come down to shootings, pretty much.
All right, fair enough. No, I think this is exactly what I was saying in the episode where we argued about the taillight. Most police officers, they get 56 hours of weapons training and 8 hours of de-escalation training, and that happens sporadically through their training. They're trained to see every single person as a criminal and act violently.
They don't.
They do, though.
Man, I've seen so many white people beat the shit out of the police. Literally. And the police will hold their hand on a gun and be getting their ass totally whipped. I seen a police officer pulled over a black man, and he said, give me your license. Okay. Reached in the car, the police shot him. Shot him.
But in this specific instance, there's clearly something wrong with a person who, shot someone like 2 weeks earlier on the job.
Who did?
She did. Amber Guyger had shot another person on the job a couple weeks before. She had worked massive amounts of I don't know. I don't know the whole story.
So don't try to say the bitch was tired, Chris. I'm tired, but I still come on stage and do my jokes.
Well, but you're not out here wielding a weapon. Like you shouldn't have.
Nigga, this mic is a weapon. I got to remember all the fucking jokes.
This was my point about it earlier, is what I'm saying. When you have a weapon, a gun, you've already decided what you're going to do with it.
Exactly
because
right.
You know exactly what it's capable of. Knowing she had a weapon on her when she went into his apartment, she had already made up her mind of what she. We all have made up our minds when we're in that situation, because you plan. If I'm ever in this situation, this is exactly what I'm going to do. That's as premeditated as ever going to be.
Right.
So for her to only get 10 years, I don't understand that. Charge her 25 years. Maybe she doesn't serve all 25, but the sentence is 25 years. Now, she can plead out of that. She can get it reduced with good behavior, whatever. But to give a murderer 10 years and then turn around and have a woman who didn't know she couldn't vote, and she's doing 5 years, mandatory. Like that.
No, I have a friend who sold 2 OxyContin. His daughter sold 2 OxyContin, and she got 13 years in jail for that, for 2 pills.
And it's like,
So you telling me a bitch who shot somebody by mistake?
I'm not saying
10 years
I'm saying
good?
that. No, I'm saying the fact that she got actually convicted of anything is good, because most cops don't. No, it has nothing to do with rape.
The black cops go to jail.
Has nothing to do with rape.
The black man who shot that motherfucking
Australian white woman in Minnesota
got a fucking life
30
years.
Okay.
And her family got twice as much.
I don't know why you're arguing with me, because we agree.
I'm telling you, no, we don't agree.
Yeah,
you
we
have
do.
fucking agree. You have fucking agree. You have
my finger.
you have fucking agree. So don't tell me that shit.
No.
You do not agree. When you white,
No, you're
white,
making a false dichotomy. You're making a fake.
Here you go with these fast.
You're making an argument.
Think you gonna get me?
No,
because
this happened.
Google.
No,
I got
this
Google,
happened.
I don't give a fuck about your iconic.
This happened
bird.
last time with the last episode. I'm not gonna let happen again.
Yeah, okay.
You tried to
Chris.
make me look like we disagree, and we didn't disagree.
We
and
do
then,
disagree.
And then when the episode came out, every's up my ass.
They should
for
have been
no
up your ass.
No, they shouldn't have.
So let's
because
back up.
because
so
you
said,
and I.
You
slow
said
down.
most cops don't get convicted. That's what you're
Most
saying.
cops who kill a black person never see a day in jail.
That's okay. That's true. That's true.
And so the fact that one actually went to jail is progress.
You know what saved her? She didn't pull him over in a car. Had she put him over in the car, she would have walked.
That's right.
That's what saved her. They couldn't justify that she walked into a wrong apartment and shot this black man dead. Plus, they had a good chance. We all knew in the black community when that fucking jury was all black and white, one person, we was like, this bitch about to be barbecued. But the thing is, what we talking about is why the fuck did she get 10 years? And would you have forgiven her? I personally wouldn't have said it out loud because I know I wouldn't have been ready, y'all. I know. It took me fucking 20 years to forgive my mama for mistreating me. It took me 20 years to forgive the nigga who shot me in the back of the head and who fucking took my virginity and dogged me the fuck out. It took me over 20 years to forgive them. And they never asked for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. But I did it for me so I could move on. So
Would you have forgiven Chris?
Eventually. I think I agree with Miss Pat.
Not in the courtroom, I wouldn't. Eventually, you will have to, because if you don't, it will kill you. It will eat you alive hating her. While she's fucking getting 3 meals and a cot.
The phrase is bitterness is a poison you drink to kill somebody else.
Well, that's what white people say.
Well, I think that probably applies to every human
I've never
being.
heard that before.
Has nothing to do with race.
Do that mean each his own?
No.
It just means that you are hurting yourself to try and kill somebody who's not being hurt. You're being hurt because you're angry at that person.
Yeah.
And I definitely, there's people
so
in
now
my...
we saying the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I admire the 18-year-old kid who had the ability to stand up in a public forum and say the things that he said to the person that killed.
I'd have snapped that bitch's back in half when she came to hug me.
I think that
I bet you his mama didn't feel the
snapped her
same way. I bet you his mama didn't feel the same way.
And you know what? I bet the kid feels that way too. He just chose to show a different path, even though he probably has the same exact feelings that you're talking about.
No, he had the feelings that he showed because that boy could have won an Oscar if that shit wasn't real.
I'm sorry. I couldn't forget. If you murdered my brother because you were tired and stupid, I would never ever forgive you. I wouldn't go around the rest of my life hating you. Probably I would because you'd be in jail, but whatever. But you would never ever ever hear me say, I don't want her to go to jail.
What does forgiveness mean to you then?
I couldn't forgive you for making a mistake like that. I could forgive you for stepping on my shoes. I could forgive you for being late. I could forgive you.
If you don't forgive, then she still got control of the situation.
Exactly right.
And so therefore you are dying on the inside because you're taking all of that energy, Deon, and you're hating this person
I'm not
for taking
carrying
somebody
it around. But
yes, you are.
I'm definitely not.
If you cannot forgive, Deon, if you cannot forgive, that shit will eat you up like cancer on the inside. And it will. That's why I used to tell you, I used to tell Deon all the time, I said, the way you talk to women, it must be the way you talk to your mama because you have no fucking respect for women.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, no, that's not bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Because the way you talk to women sometime when I first met you, you was fucking crazy.
Who, what are you talking about?
Like the way you used to talk to women.
You should be tuning in.
Yeah,
video.
the way
Somebody
you-
we're about to
I
have
don't know what she's talking
podcast
about.
the third
I
chair.
treat everybody the way they treat me. If you come at me disrespectful, I'm right back there.
No,
with
you was a different cookie when I first met you.
I
And
think-
you had some issues going.
How old are you, Deon?
I'm 34.
All right, I'm 36. I can tell you
Nobody
that,
asked you that.
I can tell you that I have greatly evolved in the way that I talk to women and treat women over the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't know about you, Deon, but especially in the Me Too era, I've learned a lot about
Ain't nobody
how I
gonna
talk
meet
to
you,
women.
Chris.
You know what? You're just being hurtful today. Hurtful.
I'm trying to give you motivation. Ain't nobody gonna
I'm
meet
trying to
you.
figure out what you meant by me being like I've never gone out of my way to be disrespectful to anybody.
I mean,
now,
you
if you
just-
started
you-
talking shit to me,
No,
then-
you just had a way that you talked to women when I first met you that I did not agree with. You changed over the years because I've known you.
But
about
I
15
haven't though.
years.
That's why I'm so confused. 'Cause
Yes, you
I don't
have.
know what
Yes,
she's
you've
talking
gotten a
about.
lot better. Yes, you have. You gotten a lot better. Take my word. If you did, motherfucker, I'd have been killed you. But anyway,
Maybe she's gotten lax with her rules because I literally haven't changed the way I talk to anybody.
no, he's gotten a lot better when it come down to at least the way he talked to me. Because I used to say, dude, I got kids.
You've changed the way you talk to me. I would not allow you to talk to me a certain way.
No,
and
that's
you didn't
not
like
fucking
that.
true. No,
Yeah,
that's not
you
true.
say fuck you, Deon, every day on this podcast, and I finally let
And
that
I
shit go.
mean-
But when we first met, I would not let you talk to me like that. I would
He
tell you to
swear
go
he can
fuck
fight,
yourself.
but he
It's
cannot
not about
fight.
fighting. It's
But
about
I would
standing
beat him up.
It doesn't.
Wait a
You
minute.
would still have to
Here we
respect
go,
me
not
after
fi-
we fought.
I don't. Look, here we go. Not being able to finish. We talking about Amber Guyger.
You brought up how I talk to women. I didn't bring that shit up. What are you mad at me for?
Okay, let's back up. The thing is, my whole point of this is you have to forgive. Even if somebody, you have to, because if you don't, it will eat you alive. I am not where I'm at today by not forgiving the motherfuckers who stepped on me, who fucking shot me, who drugged me, who fucking connived me, all kind of bullshit. I'm here. I'm where I'm at today because I forgave each and every one of
You
them
can
motherfuckers.
definitely move on, but I don't think
No, you
have to
cannot. You
forgive.
cannot move on if you do not forgive, Deon.
Truly,
because
you're not going to see Amber Guyger on the street.
no, but your brother is dead.
Okay.
Your brother is dead, and that will always fuck with you. But I truly believe if you take it to the higher power, whatever that might be for you out there, and you ask for forgiveness so you can move on. Because I know what it is to hate. I literally used to hate my first kid's father and my mother. I mean, hate them. You ever seen a bitch when your mama died, you don't shed a tear? You looking at one. I didn't shed a tear when she fucking died. And I said, I am a 16-year-old child, and I should be boo-hooing because my fucking mama is dead. And I remember walking around, even after I had to pay for my mama's funeral, and it was this knot in my fucking chest that was so fucking heavy. And I was like, why I feel like something just weighing me down. And something spoke to me, and it had to be God, y'all. And he said, you gotta forgive. You gotta let go. And I don't get on my knees other than back in the day for other pleasure or shit. But I literally got on my knees and I prayed and I forgave my first kid's father and my fucking mama because this dude violated me to the fucking 99th degree. Not only did he get me pregnant when I was 13, he fucking shot me, he beat me, he did everything that you could think of except killing me. That nigga did to me. On top of my mama allowing other motherfuckers to do shit to me and not protecting me. Once I forgave them two some bitches, I was able to move on. You have to forgive. Somebody kill your relative. I don't think I would. That kid had a lot of fucking courage. I couldn't have stood up in the courtroom. And I'm quite sure the mama still ain't fucking forgave Amber Guyger. I'm quite sure every police officer ever killed a black child who got a mama at the house ain't forgive. But you have to forgive. Not for that motherfucker who brought you this pain, for yourself. Because if you don't, you won't move on. I'm here to tell you.
What does it mean to forgive to you? Like when you say you forgave them, what happened? How did you do it? What did it look like? What did it feel like?
It felt like I lost 100. It felt like I lost 100 pounds out of my chest. I'm not lying. It was just weighing on me because when you hate something or somebody, it controls you. Even when you don't want to think about it, that motherfucker who did you wrong will just pop back up in your head because your brain is so fucking strong. Your brain no pain, and every now and then this shit just pops back up in your brain, and it makes you angry all over again. So you don't want to be like that. But when I got on my knees and I said, you know what, Lord, I come to you for me, not for them. I want to forgive them. And the shit just went away. Even when, like everybody talking about Sierra prayed a prayer. I prayed a motherfucking prayer. I got on my knees when I was fucking 17, 18 years old. And I said, Lord, I've asked you so many times to make this nigga a good daddy for my kids. But tonight I come to you and say, fuck that nigga, change me. And I literally woke up and did not desire that dude again in my fucking life. And you know how a lot of times you go back and you have sex with people when y'all breaking up and shit, or you cheat on a new boyfriend with the old boyfriend just to make sure this is the end for you. Not one time did I ever desire that piece of shit. Not one time. That's what it is to forgive for me. I knew when I asked for it, God washed that nigga out of my system like bleach. When I asked for God to show me how to forgive my first kid's father and my mama, he washed them two out of my system like bleach. And I never, ever, even when I think of them now, it don't bring me pain.
Yeah.
When I used to think of them too, it brought me fucking pain, and I would just cry. I used to tell them, I'm all cried out. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You gotta forgive. Because if you don't, that shit will cause cancer. I mean, a different type of cancer that'll eat your mind, body, and soul up. And I refuse to give anybody that type of control over me. My whole life, I just wanted to search for happiness. So I understand why the kid stood up and said what he said. Was it too soon? For me, it was. But people deal with shit in different ways. So that's what I'm saying to you, Deon. If somebody ever violates you or hurt you or take somebody away from you that you love, you have to forgive them so you can move on. It's you. It's about you. Because even if they put that person in jail, you still not. You kind of satisfied, but you not. Yeah, she can never be a cop again. She probably never can own a gun again. But your fucking child is gone. And people are always speaking for the dead. I would say this. I'm quite sure he would want his family to move on because he's not here anymore.
Yeah, and I think this may not be a popular sentiment either, but she's a human being too, and she was radically changed in that moment when you watch the video, and she's clearly going through pain about this situation too.
Don't nobody give a fuck about her pain. Her pain was caused because she chose to shoot a motherfucker. Like, I cannot forgive you for that
Don't
mistake.
say you can't forgive them.
I can't forgive you, Amber Guyger, if you killed for anybody. If one of my brothers got killed on somebody's bullshit, they would never get forgiveness from me. Like, I could move on. I could live the rest of my life. But you're not going to get, I'm never going to get my family member back.
No.
You can never tell me you're sorry enough to convince me that, look, I know you made a mistake. I know you made a mistake.
If it was a mistake.
I get that. I understand that. I understand that completely. But I can never, and that's just me personally, and I'm not telling anybody to think this way or feel this way or live this way, but me personally, I would never be able to forgive that person, hug that person, tell that person, I don't want you to go to jail. For me, that was the most unbelievable. I don't think I could ever hold that type of emotion. I just know I couldn't.
Well, people are different ways, and we're going to talk about that right after this break, y'all. All right, we back. So we was talking about dealing with emotions in different ways, and shit happens. Some people are stronger than others. Deon is stern.
I'm a bitter motherfucker.
Yeah, well, he's a bitter motherfucker. Yeah, I would say that he's a bitter motherfucker. But I'm not. I mean, like I said earlier, I could never forgive the person in court. But sometimes you have to do shit for yourself. And that's what I truly believe. And Deon, since we sitting here talking, maybe that you need to go back and forgive some motherfuckers so you can move on. That's probably why you fucking sleep all day.
I sleep all day because I be tired and I don't eat right. I ain't holding no grudge on nobody right now. I'm good.
Just motherfucking Popeye chicken will have you mean sometimes.
Deon, is it Miss Pat you need to forgive?
Yeah, probably.
Because I say some crazy shit out there, y'all.
I can show y'all some screenshots.
Yeah.
Just re-listen to this episode, Miss Pat.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a constant practice.
It is. I mean, you gotta forgive, y'all, so you can move on.
So let's flip this. Also in the news, there was a little girl who lied about getting her dreads cut off.
Yeah, a little black girl lied on the white people. I'm like, come on, girl, you just set us back. And you know what's fucked up about this whole situation? I never jump on the black and white shit. I give it a few days and make sure it's all real. And the way they was cut, first of all, ain't no white people gonna cut your shit at the root. They gonna clip that shit down here. Bitch, you wanted a perm and you wanted a nice weave like your classmates. So you went off and cut your dreads off. So your mom and them can think somebody else did it.
So a girl who claimed white classmates cut her dreadlocks she makes the story up. 12-year-old African-American girl claimed 3 white classmates pinned her down and cut her dreadlocks and admitted the claims were fabricated.
It was a Jussie Smollett again.
Right.
I don't know nothing about no Jussie Smollett. Now, we don't keep on blaming shit on Jussie Smollett because the man got off. This girl here came out and said she did. She cut her own hair. So I would say this, black people, listen to your kids when they say they don't want no dreads. Just go and give your baby a perm. So she ain't got to be up here making up these white lies and shit, making her look bad. The baby, I know what the baby want. She wanted some nice cornrows and shit. She want them, and dreads are heavier than a motherfucker. Then she got tired of mama putting that motherfucking olive oil in her hair and greasing it up and shit. And she got tired looking like the Lion King. I feel this baby.
She wanted attention.
No, this baby was tired looking like the Lion King. Symbol. Ain't Symbol got the dread?
Symbol, yes.
Symbol. So
he had a man.
You know, but I mean, people do shit for all type of attention. That's why I don't jump on this shit. I feel sorry for the little girl who had to tell a lie on the 3 little white girls, because I'm quite sure her mama ready to go.
Boys.
White boy.
Yeah, she said white boys held her down and cut her hair.
Probably scared the shit out of them little white boys. They were like, dreads? What the fuck is dreads? Her hair. Oh, we thought that shit was bubble gum in her hair.
No. The only time I've ever said the N-word was on Xbox.
Poor baby. Oh, yeah, they do. So the baby just wanted a new hairdo. So her mama's here in the video braiding her hair now. I mean, open up so sometimes you can't throw that what you believe in on your child, because they don't always like it. My daughter's natural. Garyana, she won't put no weave in her hair, period. Do you hear me?
She's very natural.
Yes, cocoa butter down natural. And she got that black history for your ass. But we're different. I put on a wig. She would never put this shit on her head. She's like, that's not what we live for. No. I'm like, well, I don't live to fucking twist my hair and fucking be I'm tender-headed. Like The Color Purple. Remember the little girl on The Color Purple? You saw The Color Purple?
No.
He's never seen it. Why the fuck would you even turn and ask? The nigga... No.
I saw Harlem Nights. I got one in.
I did. See, that's what we hate about white people. Y'all do one fucking thing and y'all want credit for all the shit.
50% of the movies have been black movies.
I did one. Isn't that enough? No, it's not.
Who the fuck ain't seen Color Purple when Oprah had one eye?
It came out when I was like 2. How old?
What the fuck does that matter?
It matters.
I saw Schindler's List. That shit happened in the 30s.
Yeah.
No, the movie came out.
Did we tell your Schindler's List story on the podcast?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the greatest thing. There's so many stories on this podcast. The Schindler's List one blew my mind, along with lighting her mom's grave on fire. Like, those are the two that stand out for me.
I sure did.
I got Schindler's List queued up in my Netflix, and I'm just gonna watch it just to relive Miss Pat's story.
Run! Miss Pat just screaming, "Run! Where's their guns at?"
Well, anyway, in The Color Purple, the little girl was getting her hair combed, and she was screaming like a motherfucker. Like somebody was dragging her behind a car. That's how I cry when you comb my fucking hair. I can't stand for my hair to be combed.
Do you not take medicine before you get your hair done? Like, you can take pain pills that way you won't feel it before you get your hair done.
Who told you that shit?
I used to be tender-headed when I had my hair braided for 10 years straight, and when I first started getting braided, I would get headaches so bad that I would just...
the headache, it's just you combing the shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would take pain medication before I got my hair done, and I wouldn't
heard
feel
of that.
it.
No, I feel this shit.
Like Advil or
I would take a leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I would take 2 Aleve before I got my hair.
I might need to try that because that shit hurt. I'm telling you, that shit hurt. I'm 40-something years old. I be in that bitch screaming.
I know what you're talking about.
That shit.
Chris, you don't have hair that if you got
fine.
If your shit got braided, it would fall out. But like,
yeah, it's. I mean, I got that shit straight off the boat kind of shit. That's kind of shit.
If you get a strong motherfucker who knuckles your shit while they're twisting.
Oh my God. I can't do it. I can't do it. Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the Pat Down. We truly appreciate you guys out there. Make sure y'all keep supporting the podcast. We down the video now, y'all. We truly, truly appreciate y'all. Say something, please. Help me out here.
MissPatComedy.com.
That's her website.
I just
figured that was self-evident to you.
No, I wanted you to say how much we appreciate the fans.
Oh.
And all the black girls that want you.
I truly appreciate it, black girls. Thank you so much. I'm honored. You
looking for somebody?
Would like to harm it.
We're going out on that note. Okay, bye-bye. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of The Pat Down. Make sure you check out my website at misspatcomedy.com for all of my social media, my tour dates, my book. Make sure you spread the word about my podcast. Please rate and review. Please rate and review and share. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I've been Miss Pat.